Hey everyone, I am Bianca. Today I'm going to show you some really easy but beautiful Dollar Tree DIYs for more of a cottage feel for your home.
I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
So for the first one, I'm doing two unique wall pockets by using these tumbling tower blocks. A lot of times I call them Jenga blocks just because that's what I grew up playing, but specifically at Dollar Tree, they're called tumbling tower blocks. So for each one, I'm going to use 12 pieces. So all I'm going to do is basically make 4 rows of 3. So I'm just showing you the shape of this. You're basically going to make a diamond or a square, and then we're going to glue this all together. In my last video, I mentioned I was going to be doing shout outs to my viewers who leave comments below. I want to shout out Barbara Romans. Thank you so much for watching me, especially during your treatments. I would love to see some of your DIYs. So please, if you can, share them with me over on Instagram or email them to me at biancaannd@gmail.com. After I had my 4 rows of 3, now I'm going to go ahead and glue this all together to make a diamond shape. So as of last night, I decided to join TikTok. I actually just posted a, video over there or TikTok over there. All you have to do is search up biancaannd. I'm trying to be more in the loop. I was a little nervous about it, which I don't know why YouTube I feel like is more nerve-wracking. So I'm going to be posting more DIYs over there and DIYs I already have on my YouTube channel, maybe some that you have missed, and just different content overall. So go and follow me if you want to see maybe a different side of me. Now I'm going to use this Dollar Tree basket to basically make the pocket over onto my tumbling tower blocks. So I'm going to cut through there and see how much I need to cover that. I'm going to glue it on there and then I will just cut off the excess. So I turned it around on the back so I can see exactly where I need to cut. So you can paint this any colors you choose. I'm using a green moss chalk paint and I did add some white to it to lighten it up a little bit so it wasn't too green. And for the tumbling tower block area, I was going to paint that white and maybe kind of distress it a little, but I decided to leave it just like that, the way it is, because I'm going to add some Dollar Tree white hydrangeas in there and it really pops against the green and the light brown. These definitely came out way better than expected. Now I just gotta find a place to put them. For this next DIY, I have 2 Dollar Tree pieces right here. I have a vase and a cloche. So I hope you were lucky enough to pick up a cloche because I was so shocked I was able to find one. So when I saw them, I picked up 2. I'm not sure how long ago, maybe a couple months ago. So what I'm gonna do is use the lid from the cloche. I brought my Windex out or glass cleaner to wipe down the lid to the cloche and the glass vase. So you can use anything to clean the lid, but I just want to make sure I clean it well before painting it because this shiny type of plastic, if you go over it with the paint, sometimes it doesn't stick well. So I'm making sure I clean it good first and then that way the paint can stick. So I just do 1 coat of white paint. I just use my Apple Barrel white paint from Walmart and then I will go over it with the different paint. So I'm basically using the white paint as a base. So now I'm going to go over it with my green moss chalk paint, and I'm going to use a bristled brush instead so it can look a little more, you know, rustic and cottage looking. So this would look really pretty if you use like a light brown or tan paint as well. My next shout out is going to be to Janice Williams. Congratulations on retiring. That is so awesome. I'm so happy you want to take up crafting as a hobby. That is going to be really fun for you. Now that you're not working, you can spend a lot of time doing it. So thank you so much for watching and commenting. So I thought it would be really fun to use these glass stickers from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add it to the vase to give it some texture, and then I'm going to paint the vase white again to give it a good base. I was trying to add all of them at the same time, but I couldn't, so then I just decided to do them one by one. Once that dried, I used this cashew chalk paint to dry brush over it so you can really see the texture from those stickers. And I just have my hot glue gun inside of there. That way the vase won't roll around too much. I actually added some fall flowers inside of the vase because I like the pop of brown from that. And then I just have a little tea towel underneath and a Hobby Lobby sign. For my next DIY, I am using a rectangular frame from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove everything from here except the little tiny pieces of hardware in the back that hold up the glass. I like to leave those on when I paint it because it helps it kind of sit up and the actual frame is not touching like my table, so the paint won't come off. So that helps it just to be elevated from the table. And I'm going to use that cashew chalk paint, and I'm going to do 2 coats. So make sure to let each coat dry, or that one coat dry, before you apply the second one. My next shout out for today is to Jill Yan. She has been watching me for a while now. I appreciate your last comment in my previous video, and thank you for inspiring me. Now I'm going to use this Dollar Tree rug underlay for the background of the frame. I've used this before and I have some left, so I'm just going to turn the frame around and hot glue this in the back. And as you can see, I'm just using the back of a small little paintbrush to help me stick that down so I don't burn my fingers. And then after a few more seconds, once the glue gets a little tacky, I use my fingers. And the last thing I did was add this Dollar Tree home sign. I picked this up a few months ago and I used it for a DIY a while back. I saved it because I really like the color of it and I thought it looked perfect on here. So I'm really big on contrast, and I know this has no contrast. It's kind of all the same color, but I'm gonna add it to a black Dollar Tree easel, and that kind of brings out the colors. And then I'm also gonna have decorations around it. Oh, and also make sure you're following me over on Instagram because I've been sharing some decor pieces, including this ceramic vase behind here. That vase was from Michael's. Everything for summer and spring is 70% off. And the dried florals inside I just found for about 75% off from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to use these two bamboo cutting boards from Dollar Tree to make an easy DIY shelf. So I'm going to show you the way I'm going to have it sitting. So I'm going to have one piece laying flat and one up like this. And I'm just turning it around so you can see better in the lighting. And you could use wood glue, but I'm going to use E6000. So either or is fine. They both have strong holds. A lot of crafters like to have E6000 on hand because, like I said, it's a strong hold and you can use it on many pieces such as plastic, wood, metal. So I'm going to apply a thin strip of it and I'm going to put the cutting board on top of it how I had it. I'm going to lean it up against my wall, and I'm also going to use my L ruler, I believe it's called. I always forget the name of it, but I've got that from Dollar Tree as well. So it can help me with making sure that everything is straight. You want to wait at least 24 hours before you hang it up, but it fully dries and cures within 72 hours. So now I have these two hooks from the garden center at Dollar Tree. These are the smaller ones. They also have a larger one. So I'm taking the two smaller ones and cleaning them well because I'm going to paint them white first just with my white apple barrel paint and brush. But you could use spray paint, and I do have some, but it was raining at that time and I didn't want to go outside. I was just cleaning them well before painting. So I was mistaken. I did not paint them white first. I used the cashew chalk paint and I did about 3 coats. So this next part is not necessary, but I always have to add some type of support every time I glue things like this. So I have these really skinny skewers from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to add one right here with hot glue. Now you could also use E6000 right here. So once I do that, then I will add the hooks to the sides connecting both of the cutting boards. Now the hooks are just for looks. They're not serving any purpose for support. So I just really like the way it looked. And you want to use the flat side up against the wall. So I just turned it the other way around. That way it's flat up against the wall because you're going to use command strips. Remember, I'm just using hot glue right here because it's just for looks. Again, it's not for support. But what you could do is once you glue this side with hot glue, the bottom part you could use E6000 if you want, just so you're sure that this will not fall off. On here, I have a thrifted little pitcher with some Dollar Tree hydrangeas and then some more Dollar Tree flowers laying there. And just imagine having multiple shelves like this. You can have them up and down, one being on top and the other at the bottom, or having them diagonally. For my last DIY, I am using this really pretty Dollar Tree basket that you would probably use for like organization purposes, but I love the design on it, so I decided to spray paint this white with my matte white spray paint. So this is the part where you can decide if you even want to elevate it. I do, so I'm using some Amazon beads underneath it. I'm using 4, 1 on each corner, or you can also use 4 tumbling tar blocks on each corner. My last shout out for today's video is to Monica Sandoval. Thank you so much for just subscribing. She actually just started following me, so I really appreciate that. Even though you are new, I hope you decide to keep watching and you love all of my content. To the inside of the basket, all I did was add some DIY books that I made a long time ago when I started YouTube. And if you want to see how I did that, I can remake some for a new video because I really like the way those look. And then I added that vase that I made earlier. I have some greenery in there from Walmart, I believe, and then more little white flowers just laying there on the table. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great Thursday, and I'll see y'all next time.